Hi, Stephen Weber here. Exactly 2 years ago, we began major renovations on the building that houses the Power Station Studios and BerkleeNYC, the New York campus of Berklee College of Music. 2 years, millions of dollars, one pandemic, and the collective efforts of hundreds of construction workers, engineers, acousticians, architects, contractors, and subcontractors later, we're almost ready to reoccupy the building.
We're located here in Hell's Kitchen on West 53rd Street between 9th and 10th Avenue, sharing the neighborhood with dozens of Broadway theaters, hundreds of off-Broadway theaters, Carnegie Hall, Radio City Music Hall, Lincoln Center, Alvin Ailey, The Late Show, The Daily Show, major labels, broadcast networks, just blocks from Times Square.
The first thing you'll notice about the renovations is we now have an accessible ground floor entrance, complete with a new elevator and a ground floor lobby. Our idea was to make the new lobby kind of reminiscent of the old lobby at Power Station. So we designed it all in wood like this. Brand new reception desk, and we've got Harley Seger here. Hi, Harley.
Hi, good to see you. I'm so excited to be working reception here for Power Station and as the Student Services and Career Coordinator for BerkleeNYC.
Our new elevator is huge. It's big enough for a 9-foot concert grand piano and 5 additional people to ride in at the same time. We're shooting this during COVID times, so if you see me or anybody else without a mask on, keep in mind we are complying with all SAG-AFTRA COVID protocols, and Power Station is an approved studio for SAG-AFTRA use. On the lower level, we've got a nice big lobby here for the BLACKBOX Theater. We're gonna go in there in just a minute, but first, let's head down this corridor here. One of the things I love about the renovations is that we finally now have enough restrooms for this building. This building has been chronically under-restroomed for quite a while, but we've made up for that. And then we head down here, we have some writing rooms, and oh, hey, we have Nikki and Regina here. Let's say hello to them. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey, listen, I'm giving a tour. Would you introduce yourselves and tell people what you're doing down here?
Sure. Hi, I'm Regina and I'm a Client Service Associate.
I'm Nikki, I'm also a CSA, and we help facilitate all of the recording sessions that happen here at Power Station.
Currently though, we're in the middle of a co-write in one of the production suites here. What's really cool is that the setups down here are super simple. You just bring in your laptop, your gear, and a pal, plug right in, and you can get to work.
Yeah, there's 3 rooms down here just like this, so plenty of space to get writing.
Here at the end of the hall, we have another rehearsal space, which can obviously be used for band rehearsals, choral rehearsals. It also could be used very well for dance rehearsals as it has a sprung dance floor. So now we're in the brand new BLACKBOX Theater. This BLACKBOX Theater features an amazing LED wall, which can be configured all together like that or in several different components. It features a fully sprung dance floor. We have a nice green room and dressing rooms. There's a video control room adjacent to here. There's also a pantry for live events. This also features a very impressive lighting grid where Matthew Soares right now is at the console. Matthew, tell us a little bit about the lighting grid.
So down here in the BLACKBOX Theater, we have full lighting capability. We have PARs, LECOs, movers, all the industry standard stuff that you would see to light up whatever productions you have. On top of all that, we have this gorgeous QL5 console to sound design or provide audio for whatever you want to bring in here. We're ready for it down here.
So this is the video control room. All 26 of the 4K PTZ cameras come down to here. From here, we can do broadcast, we can do live streaming. We can also capture individual camera feeds for post-production later on. Gloria and Simon, do you want to tell us a little bit about the capabilities down here?
Sure, we have a live switcher right here, which have the control of all the cameras in our studios. We can also control the camera's pan, tilt, zoom right here in our fingertips. You can bring in a director, producer, and we can do live broadcasts like a TV studio.
In addition to video tie lines, this room also supports Dante connectivity, which allows us to seamlessly capture audio from anywhere in the facility.
Welcome to Studio A. This is a legendary space. It was completed in 1977. Some of the earliest clients was Nile Rodgers and Chic, Bruce Springsteen, Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, David Bowie, Dire Straits, the band that took the name Power Station, as well as many, many Broadway cast albums.
Also in here, you can fill this up with strings, you can put a full orchestra. The acoustics are really the signature of this space, and they're defined by the septagonal dome at the top and then the vaulted ceiling that goes way up. Things just sound amazing in here. You can also turn this from one huge space into 3 pretty large spaces using these movable walls right here, where you can keep the sight lines, but make this into a huge isolation booth here that's actually big enough for a full band. The flexibility in this space is really incredible. Another new addition to the studio that we're excited about is this Steinway D 9-foot concert grand piano. We made a huge investment in video infrastructure, starting with these PTZ cameras. PTZ stands for Pan, Tilt, and Zoom. These are 4K cameras. Here in Studio A, we actually now have 10 cameras. You can do a 10-camera shoot in Studio A without setting up a single camera. We also have some extra cameras that you can bring to bear, some of these Panasonic 4K cameras that were chosen. Or if you want to go with more of a cinematic look, we also have the industry standard RED cameras with the Canon cinema lenses, which look amazing. We've also replaced all of the track lighting with DMX controllable Times Square lighting. Also, during the renovations, we were able to give Studio A its own very private and very comfortable lounge, complete with accessible restrooms. Here is the control room for Studio A, and here is Ian Kagey. Hey, Ian.
Hey, Stephen.
Could you tell our friends a little bit about the control room here?
Absolutely. Welcome to the control room for Studio A. Studio A's control room is centered around a Neve 8088 analog console. This console was installed in the facility in 1980, and we spent the last 2 years refurbishing it and bringing it back to its home. Other upgrades to the facility include Dante throughout all of the studios, multi-channel headphone systems, as well as state-of-the-art Pro Tools systems. Our hope is that we can support great analog gear with also amazing digital infrastructure.
So leaving the Studio A lounge, we go right into this elevator lobby, which is pretty nice. The gallery is over there, but first let's go take a look at Studio B land. Studio B now has its own dedicated private lounge for artists working in Studio B, where they can hang out between takes. And we have yet another accessible restroom here. Let's head into Studio B itself. Studio B is just a great room to cut a smaller, tight band, a 4-piece, a 5-piece. There's also a piano alcove over here where you can either open it up or you can close it off with the same type of walls with windows in them that we have in Studio A, which you can also do with these 2 big ISOs here. What we did add was the PTZ cameras. So you can also do a great video shoot here in Studio B without setting up cameras and being obtrusive. So here's the Studio B control room, which is very similar to the Studio A control room, except that it has Ben Miller in it. Ben, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Stephen, thanks.
That's great. It also has a 72-channel SSL J9000 series console, which I know has been recapped while we were down. And Ben, can you tell us a little bit about that process?
Totally, yeah. The building renovation was an excellent opportunity for us all to get in and spend some quality time with our vintage gear to make sure that when we reopen, it's gonna be better than ever.
Studio C is our second largest tracking room. It's almost as big as Studio A. But one of the great things about Studio C is the way that the ISOs are laid out. We have 5 isolation booths, all with excellent sight lines back here into the main room. Something else unique to Studio C is that it's the only studio we have that's not entirely finished out in the Sugar Pine, but has what we call the Motown room. This ISO was finished out in the same materials as you would find in Motown studios, where Tony Bon Jovi, who designed the place, got his start as a teenager. And hey, we have Brandon here. Brandon, how's it going?
Hey, Stephen, how are you?
Good, good. Hey, say hello to everybody and tell them what you're up to.
Hey guys, my name is Brandon Chevere. I'm a CSA here at Power Station, just getting these drums set up for our session later.
Studio C's control room is equipped with a Neve VR 72-channel console and is also equipped right now with Neal Shaw. Hey Neal, how's it going?
Hey Stephen, how are you?
Good.
My name is Neal Shaw. I'm a studio operations associate here at Power Station. I work with the engineers and clients in the studio to make sure that their session runs smoothly and they have everything they need.
This is the Studio G Lounge. It's got a nice pantry and it's a nice big space. Walking now into the control room of Studio G.
our most popular mix room. And here's the most popular mix guy who designed this room, our chief engineer, Roy Hendrickson. Hey, Roy.
How's it going?
Great, man. Hey, would you tell everybody a bit about your long life here at the studio?
Sure. I started here in 1985. It was a very exciting time for me as a young man to get to experience and witness a lot of magic that's happened in these walls.
Yeah, you've done tons and tons of sessions here.
Around 2004, I was able to convert it into a record mixing room, and I always wanted to get one of these back.
Yeah, the SSL G Series, which is an awesome console. Here's the live space for Studio G, which is the smallest of the live spaces of any of the studios, but it's actually a pretty good size. You can cut a small band in here, some singers, do some overdubs while you're mixing. Hey, here's Aki.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do here.
Okay. Hi, my name is Aki Nishimura. I'm a staff engineer at Power Station. I've been here like 14 years from 06.
Wow, that's great. Before the renovations, this space actually didn't exist. It was part freight elevator and part just fallow space that wasn't being used in the building at all. Now it's a nice large room that can be used as a classroom, can be used as a rehearsal space. And we were also able to liberate this wonderful window so that students and artists and musicians, as they're rehearsing here, can take a look at the Midtown views, and also it lets in a lot of great light. Now we're in the virtual reality and augmented reality lab. We have 3 of these Jaunt 1 cameras, and we also have the amazing Glenn Forsythe. Glenn, where are you right now?
I'm in Studio A right now, hanging out with the Berklee Indian Ensemble.
That's fantastic. Do you want to tell us just what it takes to put one of these together?
Sure. Well, we start with these cameras, which have a whole lot of lenses. There's 24 different cameras within just one of these.
And each has its own SD card, which can hold up to 64 gigabytes, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of data. Wow. So we have to bring all of that over to our workstation, and we stitch them all together to create one large video.
That's great. And then how do you look at this at the end?
Well, there's a bunch of different ways you can enjoy this media. Obviously, we have these wonderful headsets, a bunch of different generations of VR headsets.
Way to enjoy this.
It's the most immersive way, but you're not limited to this. You can actually watch these videos on your smartphone, even with a pair of headphones, or even on a desktop computer on YouTube or on Facebook.
And this, of course, is the DJ Lab. We have all sorts of DJ gear here, as well as Ryan Nava, longtime DJ, member of the Scratch Ambassadors, and head of Special Ops. Ryan, tell us what we're looking at here.
Absolutely. Well, we got a number of DJ stations here featuring both analog vinyl turntables and the modern digital versions of them. We've also got some analog synthesizers, modern digital keyboards, kind of blending a mixture of the past, present, and pushing towards the future.
Here on the 3rd floor, we have a nice big new space that's going to have multiple functions. This area is actually going to be a study area and a hang space. Brett, introduce yourself and let everybody know what you do.
Hey everyone, I'm Brett Mayer. I'm part of the technical staff here at Power Station.
Then over here, this is going to be the largest tech lab that we have at BerkleeNYC. There's a place for teaching. There'll be a place for students to bring their own laptops and work and plug into some additional horsepower and some monitors, as well as check out various MIDI controllers. Here in the gallery space, we'll be installing museum quality exhibits, tracing the history of the power station, as well as the New York City recording industry. There's a beautiful new space with a new window. I want to thank you for joining us on this tour today, and I look forward to welcoming you in the near future to the power station at BerkleeNYC in person.